My wife just asked me, she said, am I going to shoot it naked? Well, yeah, it's a hot tub. Do people wear clothes in a hot tub? Never heard of that. Babe, do people wear clothes in a hot tub?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it waist up. I'm going to keep it waist up. It's been a long day, and I had a whoa, almost dropped my phone, that'd be bad. Had a documentary filmmaking team at my house all day, so I'm finishing up in the hot tub. I gotta rotate so I give you guys good lighting. Is that important, babe? Good lighting?
Yeah.
Your jeans are ripped.
Yep, I like them that way.
Yeah. And I made myself a homemade Moscow Mule. And by homemade Moscow Mule, what I mean is I didn't have mint, so I used thyme. I didn't have ginger beer, so I used kombucha. I didn't have gin, so I used tequila. And then I topped that all off with sparkling water. Oh, I didn't have a lime, so I used an electrolyte tablet.
That's not
But it's in a copper mug, baby, so it's a Moscow Mule. All right, let's shift without showing my pee-pee to the other side of the hot tub so we get good lighting. Are you joining us, babe?
no.
You can hop in if you want to.
I don't want to be.
Okay. All right, look at that. The new Keon coffee. It smells amazing. It's beautiful. It's like 7:30 at night, and I'm tempted to have a coffee just by having that there. I'm so stoked about this coffee. I've been drinking it every morning. It's amazing. It's like the most flavorful. There we go. Now we've got good lighting. The most flavorful coffee on the planet. There we go, baby. Keon
I'm so nervous.
coffee.
You're going to show your junk.
You're nervous I'm going to show my junk?
Yes.
If I show my junk, it's probably something you've seen before, I would imagine, unless you're some 3-year-old child watching my Facebook Live. Most people have seen that stuff before. All right, so we're doing a coffee Q&A. Despite me drinking a Moscow Mule, we're doing a coffee Q&A. So let me, I'm waiting for the questions to roll in. Gotta make sure the Moscow Mule doesn't bite it. Let me say a couple of things. First of all, it has been a couple of years' journey in creating this coffee. I don't know if you've read the articles or you listened to this morning's podcast on this stuff, but I mean, we are like dotting every I and crossing every T. I think that's the way that the phrase goes. What I mean by that is we compared it to a whole bunch of different coffees, over 42 different coffees, and it tested higher in antioxidants and lower in mold than any of them. And you would be shocked at the coffees we found out there that had mold in them that say they don't have mold in them. Just saying. Also, extremely dense in antioxidants. We're rotating farms with this coffee, so when we don't get the bean we want from one farm, we're going to a different farm. We're doing lab testing in Illinois, in Brazil, and in Germany for independent third-party lab tests. We're not doing these labs ourselves because we want this to be unbiased. We are selecting beans for roasting and getting down to the actual amount to which that bean has been chipped. And that's because of flavor. We get a nice even roast. We do a light to medium blonde roast. So that means we get a concentration of the antioxidants, but it roasts long enough to where we don't get acrylamides forming. And it doesn't roast so long that we get what are called polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons forming. In addition to that, completely organic. Only 3% of the coffee in the world is organic. I'm going to shoot straight with you. Like, this isn't good for marketing. I'm already getting hot. I keep my hot tub really hot, but it's good for health. I really didn't care about cost with this coffee at all. And I'm going to shoot straight with you. It's not the most inexpensive coffee on the planet. What I wanted was the best coffee, the best tasting, and the best for you. Cost out the window. Don't care about cost at all. I just want the best coffee you can get, period. Now, people are asking me, is there going to be a decaf version, blah, blah, blah. First of all, the lower amount of caffeine, because we're not heavily roasting this, allows me personally to not feel like the jitters and some of the things you'd get from a darker roast. We do have super secret plans to eventually roll out even a lower caffeine version. We may or may not be adding in things like the K-cups and things like, you know, the addition of powders to the coffee if you want to spin a few dials with some fat, stuff like that. But right now, just 100% pure, flavorful coffee. That's what the back of the bag looks like. Milk chocolate, toasted pecan, and a whisper of orange blossom that lingers on the finish. We use a smokeless roasting technology, by the way. Barely anybody does that. So we're, again, able to roast this stuff to complete perfection. That's what the front looks like. Pure, clean energy. I've partnered with my friends over at Purity on this stuff. It's amazing. They research coffee. All right, so let's go through some questions here. I'm just going to scroll up to the top and start to bang these out because I know you guys have a lot of questions. How late is too late for your decaf version? We don't have a decaf version. I usually have my last cup of coffee around 4 p.m. So I'm good. But I'm a fast coffee oxidizer. If you're a slow coffee oxidizer, I wouldn't have any coffee after noon if I were you. Unless it's Keon coffee. No, I'm just kidding. If you're a slow oxidizer, just don't have coffee after noon if you value things like your sleep and your health. The geographic origin of this current batch. It's a blend. It's a blend. I don't have the countries right in front of me. It's a good question. I can find out and get back to you on this one. Because this blend that I got might be different. Because this is like a little bit of an older blend, like from our first batch. It might be different than what you guys are getting right now. Okay, let's see. Does it come whole bean or grounded? Dude, whole bean for sure. Do not buy your coffee ground. Do not buy it ground. You get all the flavor, all the antioxidants, everything you're looking for. If you buy it whole bean, store it not in the freezer, but like in an opaque, airtight container, and then grind it right before you brew it. Okay? Do not buy your beans ground. Period. Just don't do it. You're a dummy if you buy your beans ground. Don't do it, Tanner. Okay, Brandon says, would one of the beans you hinted at having mold, something like ammo in the name, have something like ammo in the name, if you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know of a bean that has ammo in the name, Brandon. I don't want to throw anybody under the bush, though. Wade says K-Cups. We're not doing K-Cups yet. Kaiko says difference between Keon coffee and Purity coffee. We're using their research and their labs to create our coffee. So we've basically partnered with Purity because I'm going to be straight with you. Like, I can't buy a whole lab to test my coffee or have access to all the research they've already done. So, am I going to play around with superfood or mushroom blends? Maybe. I might do that as a business building strategy. But right now, like, I dig the Four Sigmatic stuff. I like that, or, yeah. That, or, you know, any of the mushrooms I find on my land. Because you know what they say. There are old mushroom hunters and there are bold mushroom hunters, but there are no old and bold mushroom hunters. But I have been throwing like little soup. Like I'll make a cup of coffee in the morning and throw some pine pollen in there or some Four Sigmatic, you know, chaga, something like that. Are we shipping to Canada? We could make that happen. Actually, I think we are. I'm pretty sure we are, Maurice. Go to getkeon.com/coffee, and if there's not a Canadian option there, I'll fire somebody. No, I'm pretty sure we're shipping to Canada. If not, leave a support ticket. We get back to you super quick. I'm pretty sure it's shipping to Canada. Ted says, I understand. Why is mold in coffee in the first place? Because it grows in the beans. Ted, it accumulates during the packaging process. That's why we use a nitrogen flush packaging on this. Keep it super airtight. Can occur if it gets moist, if it gets wet, if it sits for long periods of time, or if the mold is on the initial bean out in the farmer's field under the tree. So a lot of coffee bean suppliers and manufacturers, they have mold in their coffee because it's cheaper. It's one extra step to go through for us to screen it for mold. Compare and contrast to Camara coffee. Well, Camara coffee, like our coffee like theirs, is from sustainable, from small coffee estates where they treat the workers well, and it's shade grown and it's organic. Actually, I don't think Camara's is organic, but I like Camara's stuff. But our coffee does not have smart drugs added to it or nootropics. So Camara's got that going for it. Yeah, our coffee is just pure 100% clean coffee. That's the difference. Lance says, can you give us a hint who's got... If you go to getkeon.com/coffee, you can see all of the coffees that we tested this against. I may or may not have left a couple coffees off of there just because I didn't want to stir up trouble in the health industry, but most of them are on there. Okay, Eric says, researching coffee lately, on the fence, listen to your podcast, I'm impressed. Oh, well, thank you, Eric. That's not even a question. It's just a nice statement. What's up, brother?
Good.
Good. We're talking about coffee. You want some coffee?
No.
You're good? All right, cool. You want to get in the hot tub? I'm not going to be in here too much longer, but I want to answer a few more questions. Do you recommend coffee or green tea first thing when you're fasting in the morning? One or the other, but now that I have Kion coffee, I'm going to give you my jaded response, my biased response. Coffee, 100%, dude. Like green tea. Green tea's good. I don't mind it, especially if I'm eating at a Japanese restaurant. But man, coffee in the morning. Yeah, coffee. How much money do I make per bag, Travis? I have no clue. I don't know how much money I make per bag. I should probably know my margins, but at this point, I just wanted the tastiest, cleanest coffee on the face of the planet. I think I make enough to be able to ship it to you and still feed my employees. I'm pretty sure. I hope so. If not, somebody's going to get fired. Do you do your enema with Kion coffee? Matt, actually, I do. This was part of my decision was I wanted something pure enough that I could put up my butt. And that sounds funny, but it's true. I do a coffee enema every week. I don't want to put like a bunch of mold and ochratoxin and acrylamides up my butt. Have I tried it with CBD added? No, I haven't. It's a good idea. I should try that. Let's see. Difference between bulletproof coffee, Maurice asks. Well, bulletproof coffee, I mean, technically I think some people define bulletproof coffee as adding fats to your coffee, like MCT oil or brain octane. Some people define it as just the brand. Look, I'll shoot straight with you. Well, let me say this. I love bulletproof coffee. I love the concept. I love all their stuff. Dave Asprey, cool guy. I think my coffee's cleaner. And more pure. I don't want to start any fights, but I know it's cleaner. Okay. Can't stand coffee taste. Tea still acceptable. Yeah, tea's good. Kion coffee is better. You should try some Kion coffee, dude. And then if you can't stand the taste, send it back. It's got a money back guarantee. But like, you cook this stuff, cook it, brew it, super smooth, French press. I do a 10-minute steep sign, grind it coarse, grind it right before I brew it. It's amazing. Okay, Matt says main downsides to drinking Starbucks coffee grounds. You're pretty much drinking toxins, dude. Mold, ochratoxin, acrylamides, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. Don't do it. Don't do it. Unless you're also cool with herbicides and pesticides on fruit and all that stuff. Carl says, "Can I be one of your employees?" Hey, brother, should we hire Carl? Come on, you gotta put your head out because otherwise it'll show your butt, and I can't do that on Facebook, or else we'll get fired from Facebook. Carl says, "Can I be one of your employees?" Sure, Carl. We'll hire you. You can come clean the hot tub. Aja says, "Are there visible signs or scents we can tell if our coffee beans have mold?" Unfortunately, there's not. You need like the third-party independent lab testing to do it, and the freezer storage destroys the flavor because of the moisture. Wow, we got a lot of questions. You guys are interested in coffee. Look at me, I'm sweating. It's hot in here. Ugh. Didn't even have dinner yet, and I'm sweating. We eat dinner late as a family. We eat dinner at like 8 or 8:30. We eat dinner pretty late, huh, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, stand up and say hi to people, but you got to be careful because we're on Facebook Live and we're both naked, so yes. Hello. Hi. This is us in the hot tub. My son, River, and Taryn. Those are my children's names. Okay, let's see if we have other questions here. I could get arrested at Starbucks, says Trav. Please ship to the Philippines, says Marge. Marge, ask and ye shall receive. I'll send you as much stuff as you want to the Philippines. By the way, you guys, Marge, who's on this Facebook Live, she's been my assistant for like, I think 9 years, 10 years now, something like that. She's amazing. She's one of the most amazing people on the face of the planet. I'm just going to come right out there and say that. I love you, Marge. Dylan says, cheers, I'll try your coffee. Thanks, Dylan. Do you guys have other questions about coffee? Because otherwise, I'm going to go inside and make myself some chicken curry for dinner. Where can I read your information on using stem cells for anti-aging? Google Ben Greenfield stem cell. They should Google Ben Greenfield stem cells.
Okay.
I got some articles out there. He says okay. How'd we get on stem cells? Because now Jim says, did you really gain half an inch from stem cell injections? No, I did not gain half an inch from stem cell injections. Here's what happened. That darn reporter from Gizmodo called me, and she's like, why do you do stem cells? And I told her I was writing an article for Men's Health magazine, and I wanted to investigate what kind of things that men could do to enhance their sexual performance, or to increase the quality of their orgasms, or to stave off Peyronie's or erectile dysfunction, which a lot of people experience these days. And then she says, but did it get bigger? And I'm like, well, funny you should ask. It did, a little bit. And she's like, how much? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't measure it, but it's definitely, like, I can see that it's bigger, and my wife says so too. And so she ran the whole headline. Ready for this, brother? All right, I got to talk about this in front of you now that you're here, because Eric asked the darn question. The whole story turned into man attempts to make penis bigger by injecting it with stem cells. That was how that interview went. So, yes, I think it did increase in size, but that was be careful with reporters. Be careful with reporters, that's all I'm saying, because now I'm the guy on the internet with the small dick trying to make it bigger. Thanks to darn Gizmodo. Okay, is coffee on the key? Yes, coffee's all available. It's getkeon.com/coffee. Getkeon.com/coffee. I think I have a URL. Oh, and we have a free brewing guide. I forgot about that. At getkeon.com/brewing. Anyways, though, there's all sorts of this is like a coffee bag you could read while you're on the toilet about all of the facts about coffee. Look how many things I wrote on the back of this. It's amazing. I had fun with that. So yeah, getkeon.com/coffee. You can, if you subscribe, you get like 25% discount. Let's see. I'm gonna take 3 more questions. I'm gonna take 3 more questions and then call it a day. Sebastiano says, any big plans for PaleoFX next week? That depends. I'll be at PaleoFX. We're gonna have plenty of coffee at PaleoFX. I'll be speaking at PaleoFX. I will have my pants on at PaleoFX, which is out of the ordinary. The big plans are, well, it depends. I need to hunt down a bicycle to get around town for PaleoFX. That's pretty much like the #1 thing I'm trying to do right now, is find a bicycle. That's about how far I've gotten in my PaleoFX plans. So if anybody knows somebody who has a cool bike in Austin, I'll take it. James says, do you make your own kombucha? Yes, and by that I mean my wife makes my own kombucha. Jeremy says, are there benefits in preparation? Yes, that's a good question. French press is amazing because you skip the paper filter. You keep all the good cholesterols, the kaweol, the cafestol, all the good stuff in coffee. So I'm a big fan of French press versus paper. Personally, even though paper is, it's more smooth. It's more smooth, paper is. It's smooth tasting. My wife does paper. She uses a countertop Wilfa precision coffee maker. I use a French press. Somebody asked if I drink this before Spartan races. Yes, I travel with these bags now. You can get a little hand grinder. They work perfectly. You hand grind. TSA isn't going to take your little grinder away with the blade. TSA won't even take a freaking Ninja blender or Blendtec blender blade away. Isn't that crazy? You got to check your razor blade at the door of a plane if you shave with one of those old school razors, but you can use a blender blade that's like the size of a small child, and you can bring that on the plane. So if you need to shave, just pack your blender, is the moral of this story, and you can shave with your blender. Okay, let's go with 2 more questions here. Do I recommend taking Keon Lean? Oh, Keon Lean. That's a fat loss supplement I have over at Keon. I take it before. I actually just took it before I got in the hot tub because I take it before I drink alcohol because it's got a lot of liver cleansing agents in there. Not that I drink to excess. I have not. So I drink 1 drink a night, and I have not been drunk in 6 years. I just don't drink alcohol to excess ever. But I have 1 drink a night. Isn't that cool? I never get drunk. And my key to that is actually drinking 1 drink a night because I never ever get to the weekend and I'm like, oh, I gotta have a drink or 4 or 5. Okay, let's see. Let's go with 1 more question. Does having coffee after heavy lifting workout blunt muscle building? This is a good question because there was research they did last year. Coffee post-workout increases glycogen restoration. How cool is that? Before a workout, it enhances fatty acid utilization. After the workout, it enhances glycogen restoration. What do you think about that? This stuff's amazing. No wonder the philosopher Voltaire drank over 60 cups of coffee a day. Granted, his coffee cups were probably the size of a small thimble, but I'm just saying, he drank 60 cups of coffee plus per day, because I have an interview about that on my website. Okay. I think that's it. Hey, boys, come on over and say goodbye, but don't show your, you know, your junk, because we're all naked in the hot tub. Say goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
All right, and say goodbye to Keon Coffee. All right, later, you guys. I hope I did not just show your butt right then when I swiveled it. If I showed his butt, let me know, because I'll have to go back and edit the video now so we don't get this kicked off of Facebook. Oops. Phone fail. Okay. Guys, did I show his butt just now? I don't know. Hopefully I didn't. Okay. That's a bad way to end a Facebook Live, isn't it? Hopefully I don't have to delete this. All right. Later, you guys. I love you. Thank you for watching.